Boca Toe. This is your Brandon Lewis. You are now about to get into the Script Talk podcast on Truth Music Radio. The Z is for Zion. Let's get it.
I rep ENT. I rep ENT. I rep ENT. I-Star. I rep ENT.
Tryna save the fam from the lake of fire. Tryna save my friends from the lake of fire. Tryna save you from the lake of fire. Julia, how are you? I'm saying higher. Tryna save my fam from the lake of fire. Tryna save my friends from the lake of fire. Tryna save you from the lake of fire.
I-Star.
Julia, how are you? I'm saying
Trying to save the
higher.
fam from the flames and lake of fire. There's literally nobody, just Lil Ezariah. Took heed from Jeremiah, Ezra Hezekiah, Samuel Nehemiah. I'm leaning on the rock, just how they killed Zechariah. Sovereign is the king and our savior is the sire. To join your house side, we do invite ya. They conquered and divide us. Sold us in the bondage, used to buy us. With piracy, they buy us. Stole us from our climates, infected us with virus. They keep us at the bottom to incarcerate the highest. They profit as they plotting our demises, dividing up the pie crystal. Kwam, Yasharal, and Yahoo to our highness, the highest.
Tryna save the fam from the lake of fire. Tryna save my friends from the lake of fire. Tryna save you from the lake of fire. Julia, how are you? I'm saying higher. Tryna save my fam from the lake of fire. Tryna save my friends from the lake of fire. Tryna save you from the lake of
Top
fire.
I-Star. I rep ENT. I rep ENT.
You can lead a horse to the water,
Yeah,
can't make it drink.
no you can't, no you can't.
I can give you all the information,
All the information.
I can't make you think. Tell me if you peep how the wicked kill the weak. Cry about the cops, kill your own bruh in the streets. Broadway, they there on Sunday. Tickets to hell, they just waiting in the runway. Gunplay, lot of dirty things, grimy schemes. Yeah, how was shy? Only one can redeem. Got a thirst after righteousness like a fiend. Then dipped in his blood, made clean. Yahadim.
Tryna save the fam from the lake of fire. Tryna save my friends from the lake of fire. Tryna save you from the lake of fire. Julia, how are you? I'm saying higher. Tryna save my fam from the lake of fire. Tryna save my friends from the lake of fire. Tryna save you from the lake of fire.
I-Star.
Julia, how are you? I'm saying
I
higher.
rep ENT.
Truth Music Radio is the #1 hottest source of truth music. Come see what all the fuss is about. Every Sunday from 6 to 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, Zebediah Boaz will be bringing y'all evening meditation. Mondays from 7 to 9 p.m. DJ Taz Stewart will be on the ones and twos. Tuesdays and Thursdays from 6 to 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, Moshe Ahuda will bring you truth music, scripts, and world events. Wednesday from 5 to 7, your sister, Ray Chantel, will be bringing you Sister Talk every Wednesday. Every Friday, tap in to Truth, Love, and Redemption with Dimitri Milligan from 6 to 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. And don't forget about me, your op, Brandon Lewis, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 8 a.m. We'll be bringing you the Script Talk podcast, all on Truth Music Radio. The Z is for Zion, powered by the Most High, J Shields Promotions, RayGraphics.com, and Yasharala Nation. Zion, spread the message. Download the app for free for Apple devices and Android. Shalom.
It's your Ak Judah Black, and you're tuned in to TruthMusic.com. The Z is for Zion.
It is written in your law, it is said to your gods. If you can't endure until the end, watch you die like men. It is written in your law, it is said to your gods. If you can't endure until the end, watch you die like men. Why am I so angry? This main GS system is depressing. After my allegiance to it, I'm not interested. I do my work and go home. I'm at that age where my tolerance isn't long-winded. I go into a complete rage. Cats be like, relax, burn a little sage. Shut up, idiot. When the smoke clears, we all still slaves here. We're the 99 percentile, both the Jew and the Gentile. It's a journey to the grave, single file. There's a percent left that's trying to escape death. They uses every breath to plot and had this planet to theyself. And guess what you want? Not a total complete overhaul. You rather be that brand new 1%. Heck is wrong with y'all. I've read the book of James, the woe that comes a must. Due to capitalism, chapter 5, your goal is turn to rust. Weeping high, then turn to dust. Gon' secure the bag, yep, oppression will make a wise man mad. You gon' die like men. You know what it said to your gods. If you can't endure until the end, watch you die like men. Watch you die like men. Watch you die like men. It is written in your law, it said to your gods. If you can't endure until the end, watch you die like men. Yeah. I know what you think. It ain't no way for us to duck and dodge. I keep you something different, dude. He's gonna be a problem. Homie rap is iffy, but I can spit, so I keep a slight advantage on him. I would not submit. It has never crossed my mind to quit. I was chosen to bang it out with tone over the heat he be composing. All the while opposing everything unrighteous I'm supposing. Ain't about to take this sitting down, my door on earth is closing. A quick message to the oppressed, they all hate you simply because of who you are. Chill, ain't no breakthrough. Quit trying to join their ranks, the template here is theirs. Either you with them or against them. Bottom line, nobody cares. If everything was equal, the system wouldn't work. It needs an imbalance, therefore it needs your feet to hit the dirt. That's brutal honesty, indiscriminate truth. Somebody gotta break the cycle, time to turn it loose. Come on. Written in your law, and said to your gods. If you can't endure until the end, watch you die like men. Watch you die like men. Watch you die like men. It is written in your law, and said to your gods. If you can't endure until the end, watch you die like men. Watch you die like men. Yo, I yearn to be redeemed from under the curse of it. I'm called a fascist. I'm none of these damn titles, I just hate these social classes. We've been indoctrinated from birth. What is school besides a means to teach they bidden and create that human pool? Bro, I'm cool, but I'm no fool. We in modern times functioning by Babylonian rule. Nimrod's alive and well, ain't he? The mighty hunter. He stalks us all and we'll do anything to ease the hunger. We'll always be amongst you. I wonder why, because the system never changes. People live and people die. They can't hang, they get high. Can't get by without submission. Once this occurs, it's hard to take a breath without permission. What the heck you think they cooking up in Hell's Kitchen? Soup? That's that witchcraft, divination, roots. Oops, I probably said a little bit too much. Best that I should go. Somebody pulled up in the front, they at the door. You about to die like men. Lord, said to your gods, if you can't endure until the end, watch you die like men. Watch you die like men. But in the end, you're gonna die like men. It is written in your law, and said to your gods, if you can't endure until the end, watch you die like men. It is written in your law, and said to your gods, if you can't endure until the end, watch you die like men. It is written in your law, and said to your gods, if you can't endure until the end, watch you die like men.
Shalom, shalom to the brethren, man. What up to everybody else? Listen, this y'all Brandon Lewis. I just want to take this time to tell y'all, man, hit that like button, man, for those of y'all joining me on YouTube and Facebook and Hebrew Connect. Hit that like button, man. It ain't gonna cost you nothing to hit. It ain't gonna cost you nothing to like the channel, to comment, subscribe, to follow. It ain't gonna cost you nothing, man. So go ahead and push that button. Hit that notification bell, man, so you can be notified when it's time to go live. Don't rob your brother of his likes and his subscriptions. Shalom.
Shalom, shalom, shalom to the brethren. What up to everybody else? All praises to the Most High. Thanks to His Son Yahushua HaMashiach. This is the Script Talk Podcast. It's y'all, Brandon Lewis. I'm gonna get right on into it today. I'm a little pressed for time. Today we're gonna be reading out of the book of Galations, chapter 5. We're gonna be talking about the fruits of the Ruach, or the fruits of the Spirit. Let's get right on into it. Shalom, shalom. I'm not showing no volume over here on my mic. Shalom, shalom. Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Okay, let's get it. The book of Galatians, chapter 5. Stand fast, therefore, in the liberty wherewith Hamashiach hath made us free, and be not entangled again with the yoke of bondage. That's the yoke of sin. That's what we came from. That's what we were dealing with in times past. That's what Hamashiach came to free us from sin, from the yoke of bondage. Behold, I, Paul, say unto you, that if ye be circumcised, Hamashiach shall profit you nothing. This is the circumcision of the flesh. For I testify again to every man that is circumcised, that he is a debtor to the whole law. Hamashiach is become of no effect unto you. Whosoever of you are justified by the law, ye are fallen from favor. Right? For we through the Ruach wait for the hope of righteousness by Amunah. It should be an understanding that that certain ordinances like circumcision, like a fringes, like a feast day, that these things don't make us righteous. Only taking on the mindset, right? Only taking on the nature and the characteristics of Hamashiach and of the Abba can we, we hope that in doing that and enduring all the trials that come with doing that, that we will be rewarded, right? This is what Paul is speaking of when he speaks of for we through the Ruach wait for the hope of righteousness by Amunah, by trusting, by belief. For in Yahushua HaMashiach neither circumcision availeth anything, nor uncircumcision, but Amunah which worketh by Ahaba. Ye did run well. Who did hinder you, that ye should not obey the truth? This persuasion cometh not of him that calleth you. A little leaven leaveneth the whole lump. What he's saying is that this new covenant, this new understanding, for you to get it, you don't get it by getting the circumcision like our forefathers did. And even when our forefathers did it, it was really signs of a deeper thing. You got to think. Somebody asks you as a man to cut your foreskin off, you know, for a hope, not some immediate gratification, but a hope upon something later. A lot of us really wouldn't do it. So for Abraham to do it as a grown man, a grown man, to take his penis and cut flesh off of it in this hope was a sign, right? Said it was counted unto him as righteousness, what he did. So he didn't do it out of some feeling of law. He did it out of a hope. He was told to do it, and he did it, and Paul is saying our hope now is in another thing. It's not in the circumcision. It's in the manifesting of Amunah through works of the Spirit, through fruits of the Spirit, through the characteristics he's about to name. That's what we're called to do now, because in that we circumcise our hearts. We cut off the wicked things, the things that we aspire to do that's not right, that's not upright. Right? The anger, the hate, the envy, the lust. We cut those things off in a hope that we'll be rewarded later. And we do this in the name of the Most High's salvation. His salvation was his son that came and died, that came and filled the requirements in the law, so that the people that came behind that could not keep, see, we are of the people that came behind that can't keep. We don't have a temple. Well, we don't have the physical temple like they had. We don't have the Levitical priesthood, although we are kings and priests, although our body is a temple. But a lot of the law was written around those former things, right? It's only in Hamashiach that we are the new things now, that our body is the temple now, that we, in our understanding of the Most High Yah, his word, and our ministration of his word makes us priests now. But before, there was actual offices, there was actual tangible things that held these positions. So there's a lot of things in the Levitical law that we can't keep now, because it's just not available for us to do. We aren't in a position, we aren't in the land. So he came so that we would be fulfilled in that and move on to greater things. 10, I have confidence in you through the Master, that ye will be none otherwise minded. But he that troubleth you shall bear his judgment, whosoever he be. And I, brethren, if I yet preach circumcision, why do I yet suffer persecution then? Why do I yet suffer persecution? Then is the offense of the cross ceased? I would they were even cut off which trouble you. For, brethren, ye have been called unto liberty. Only use not liberty for an occasion to the flesh, but by Ahab serve one another. He's saying is that a lot of these old requirements weren't required anymore. There's a liberty in the fact that we don't have to do these things anymore. He's saying is, don't take the fact that you aren't required to do them to go and get yourself involved into sin, right? Which is what a lot of people kind of think when certain people speak about the, not wearing fringes, not keeping feast day. They just assume that because you got that mind, you're gonna be doing all this other stuff, and it's like, no, that's not the purpose at all. The purpose is to point to the fact of it's a reason behind this stuff. It's a reason why we can't keep the feast how he said, because he punished us. See, we got to reverence what's been done, and what's been done has been done for a reason. The destruction of our land, the destruction of our temple was to make a bold statement that he's serious, and that we had to pay for our disobedience. And in our understanding of that, which is key, that we truly understand it, that we rectify ourselves, correct ourselves, and get on the right path, that we live in the way in which he's commanding us to live, right? For all the law is fulfilled in one word, even in this, thou shalt ahab thy neighbor as thyself. But if ye bite and devour one another, take heed that ye be not circumcised one of another. I'm sorry, I had my little voice thing on my voice pad. I'm sorry. I was wondering why I sound like that. But if ye bite and devour one another, take heed that ye be not consumed one of another. This I say then, walk in the Ruach, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. See that? Walk in the Ruach. Be minded of Ruachal things. Be minded of things that's unseen. Be minded of a nature of heaven, of the kingdom of heaven, of the Malkut of Shemaim, right? And walk in it, operate in that. And ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. For the flesh lusteth against the Ruach, and the Ruach against the flesh. And these are contrary the one to the other, so that ye cannot do the things that ye would. But if ye be led of the Ruach, ye are not under law. So that's key right there. We have to be led of the Ruach, so that we be not under the law. Now the works of the flesh are manifest, which are these: adultery, fornication, uncleanness, lasciviousness, idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, variance, emulations, wrath, strife, seditions, heresies, envyings, murders, drunkenness, revelings, and such like, of which I tell you before, as I have told you so in time past, that they which do such things shall not inherit the Malkut of the Most High, the kingdom of the Most High. So let's look at this. 19, the works of the flesh, adultery, fornication, uncleanness, lasciviousness, right? All of these things are nasty things done in the body, right? That are manifested. Actions. These are actions. Adultery is an action. Fornication is an action. They're not a thought. They're not a mind state. They're things that you do. Idolatry. Idolatry is kind of a mind state, because you kind of spiritually lust after these things, right? But at the same time, you do something behind it, right? Witchcraft, hatred. Hatred is another one that is not tangible. You can't touch it. but at the same time, it manifests itself in different ways. Variance, same way. Emulations, wrath, strife. 20 is, it has a few emotions in it, wrath, strife, seditions, heresies. 21, envyings, murders, drunkenness, revelings, and such like, of which, if anybody do these, they cannot inherit the kingdom of Yah. But the fruit of the Ruach is ahab, joy, peace, long suffering, gentleness, tubeness, goodness, amunah, faith, meekness, temperance. Against such there is no law. All these things are sacrificial things that a person do, right? When you think about, well, joy is not really sacrificial, though. You don't have to give up something for joy. Peace either. But, well, actually, you kind of do, right? Because to have joy, to have peace at all times, you have to take the focus off yourself, and you have to put your focus upon other things. You have to put your focus upon the Most High. You got to put your focus upon His Word, upon His promises, right? So even in that, you have to deny yourself. But in ahabing somebody, you have to deny yourself, because a lot of times people are difficult, and people might not behave as if they deserve to be ahabed, right? Long suffering, that speaks in itself. When you want to quit, when you want to give up, you continue on. That's long suffering. Gentleness. You might want to be rough. You might want to be short. You might want to be difficult yourself. But you forsake that emotion, those feelings, and you be gentle. Tubeness, goodness. Like I said before, you might want to be of a different nature. You might want to be bad. You might want to get on somebody's nerves because they got on your nerves. You might want to retaliate, right? But you forego that. This is how we are to live. These are the matters in which we have to focus on more so than things like circumcision of the flesh, than things like, oftentimes feast days, oftentimes different little ordinances that have to do with a particular place and a particular set of circumstances that don't apply at this present time. But these things are how you're going to get to the place where it will apply again. There will be a new temple. There will be a priesthood instituted again. But you will never see it if you don't learn to apply these characteristics. Meekness. Let's look up meekness real quick. That's one of them kind of things that, you kind of have a kind of an understanding. Definition of meekness. The definition of meekness is the fact or condition of being meek, submissiveness, the biblical definition of meekness is an attitude or quality of heart whereby a person is willing to accept and submit without resistance to the will and desire of someone else. Ooh, who's got that mind? Who has got that mind? That is one of the fruits of the Ruach, brothers and sisters. Submission to the will of others. Now, we're not talking about to the will of like some kind of a unreasonable, unlawful, tyrannical type of person. We're not talking about that. We're talking about things in which you probably wouldn't otherwise do, but for the sake and the ahab of the person, you're like, okay, I'll go ahead and do it. Like my wife, for instance, she got this thing about getting in the bed with your outside clothes on. It don't matter if, you ain't been in no dirt, you drove to the store or something and, came back or, whatever, and sit on the bed. You got to take your bed off. You got to take your clothes off, and for the most part, I try to oblige her in that, even though I don't agree with it really. So that is a operating in meekness, submitting to her will. Now I have to work on it because sometimes I'd be like, whatever, man, I ain't got time for all that. I'm tired, or I feel like just getting in the bed, on top of the bed rather. Temperance. You need some temperance to have meekness. Because how you gonna submit to somebody's will if you're not minded to it, and you have to temper your mind, slow your mind down, slow your anger, your wrath down to heed and listen to some of this stuff, right? Meekness, temperance, against such there is no law. There is no law against these things. There's nothing wrong with it. That's what he's saying. If you live like this, you tube to go, right? 24. Oh, hold on. This thing is flying by kind of quick. This thing is really flying by. And they that are Hamashiachs have crucified the flesh. See, submit. That's a Hamashiach submitted to the cross. He could have gotten out of it, but he willingly went. That's what we have to do in these certain situations as far as developing the fruits of the Ruach, right? Fruits of the Spirit, is that we have to willingly submit ourselves to things that we might not otherwise, choose to do, right? I don't want to take my clothes off. I don't want to have to, change clothes, whatever, just to sit on my bed. But for the shalom of my wife's sake or whatever, I do these things. And it'd be a loss when I let frustration get the best of me and I go against her desires and do it anyway. And all of us got these kind of situations in our life that people are asking things of us that isn't entirely unreasonable. It's just something they want. And we might not agree and be like, whatever, man, I ain't doing that. You know what I'm saying? I ain't doing it. But in the fruit of the Ruach, it's calling us to be well-pleasing to people. To be the type to submit to their will, to bring them pleasure, to bring them joy. As long as it's not anything against the laws and commandments of the Most High Yah. So let's consider that today, brothers and sisters. Let's consider and put these attributes on the frontlets of our forehead and upon our right hand. Uh, 25. If we live by the Ruach, if we live in the Ruach, let us also walk in the Ruach. See, the living in the Ruach, that's the mind state, right? To think upon, to consider these things in our mind and our hearts, right? Be saying, let's just not be considering stuff. Let's also do it. You know what I'm talking about? Now people be they be planning to go to the gym. They got all these, what they call them, delusions of grandeur about doing something one day. He's like, no, let's just not think about it. Let's also do it. Let's be about that business. Be about that action. I think I need to put that on a shirt. Be about that action. 26. Let us not be desirous of vain esteem, provoking one another, envying one another. Todayah. That is the end of that chapter. Like I said, this is it's a little quick today. Brothers and sisters. But I'm gonna take a little quick second. I'm gonna rap a taste with you while I find me an outro song. As this podcast has been about, as I've been pointing out, we really, 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 really got to focus on this stuff. This is how we get into the kingdom, brothers and sisters. It's by these attributes. All this other stuff that we concern ourselves with, maybe they shouldn't be left undone, okay? Ain't nothing wrong with gathering. Ain't nothing wrong with coming together. But rest assured that we got to have a purpose in everything we do. And the purpose should not just be for merriment, for feasting. We should really hope to build each other up when we come together. It ought to be to build each other up. Even if it takes rebuking and admonishing, because if rebuking and admonishing is needed, then rebuking and admonishing need to be had and need to be done. Let's not run from correction, but let's heed it. Because correction should come with a hob. Discipline and rebuke should come in a hob, should come with care and affection. Right? You got people that get upset and want to, storm out and all this whole kind of stuff behind it. Right? But we need to be of the mind of, if it's something wrong with me, I need to find out, and I need to find out in a hurry. Right? So I hope I gave you something to think on. And I'll be right back after these messages.
Truth Music Radio is the number one hottest source of truth music. Come see what all the fuss is about. Every Sunday from 6 to 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, Zebediah Boaz will be bringing y'all evening meditation. Mondays from 7 to 9 p.m. DJ Taz Stewart will be on the ones and twos. Tuesdays and Thursdays from 6 to 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, Moshe Ahuda will bring you truth music, scripts, and world events. Wednesday from 5 to 7, your sister, Ray Chantel, will be bringing you Sister Talk every Wednesday. Every Friday, tap in to Truth, Love, and Redemption with Dimitri Milligan from 6 to 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. And don't forget about me, your op, Brandon Lewis, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 8 a.m. We'll be bringing you the Script Talk Podcast, all on Truth Music Radio. The Z is for Zion, powered by the Most High, J Shields Promotions, RayGraphics.com, and Yasharala Nation. Zion, spread the message. Download the app for free for Apple devices and Android. Shalom.
It's your Judah Black, and you're tuned in to TruthMusic.com. The Z is for Zion.
Shalom, shalom to the brethren, man. What up to everybody else? Listen, this y'all Brandon Lewis. I just want to take this time to tell y'all, man, hit that like button, man, for those of y'all joining me on YouTube and Facebook and Hebrew Connect. Hit that like button, man. It ain't going to cost you nothing to hit. It ain't going to cost you nothing to like the channel, to comment, subscribe, to follow. It ain't going to cost you nothing, man. So go ahead and push that button. Hit that notification bell, man, so you can be notified when it's time to go live. Don't rob your brother of his likes and his subscriptions. Shalom.
Don't you do it. Don't you rob me. Don't you rob me. So yeah, man, also I want to point out, I'm sorry, this is not the kind of episode I wanted to have. I expect it to be live. I expect to have all my equipment to be working right. I still have some technical difficulties going on with my equipment. I want to be able to bring you the best show possible, crispy, sound and everything, and it's not quite there yet. So bear with me. Abba willing, we'll have everything up and running as it should be very, very soon. But I just want to reiterate the need for us to consider this walk as being personal, as far as us becoming the best people we could be, as the scriptures outlays it. That we be utterly and completely qualified by what has been laid out, by even the scriptures that we just read. Do you have all of these characteristics? Do you have the ahab and the joy and the meekness and the long suffering and the patience and all of these things? If you don't, if this is not your way of life, then you need to get it. And if you do got those other characteristics, right, the fruits of the flesh, and I strongly recommend that you get to circumcising it real quick, because it's the only circumcision that matters. Told I, yeah, for that. So all praise to the Most High. Thanks to His Son Yahushua HaMashiach. Shiach Belu. This has been the Script Talk Podcast. And it's 12 tribes, but it's one nation.
How can I make it when I know that I'm not living right? How can I make it? Let the Father take control of my life, 'cause I ain't wasting no more time. Wasting time. How can I make it? How can I make it? How can I make it when I know that I'm not living right? How can I make it? Let the Father take control of my life, 'cause I ain't wasting no more time. Wasting time. How can I make it? How can I make it?
In no man's land, I'm just looking for a way out. Just doing the work and salvation is the payout. I played my position
and watch these things play out. The ones who had me faded, eventually they fade out. Surround myself with like minds like mine. Our light shine bright even if it's nighttime. So we get it in the wee hours. My problem's yours, yours mine. That's wee hours, we share that. Don't be stingy with the burden, we can both bear that. You ain't a lion, you just lying. A scared cat, do everything. If you don't keep the laws, you will lose everything. First Thessalonians prove everything. I'm out here with a goal, but every day ain't Sunday. I pray to the Father, my soul to keep. If he ever decide to take it from
confused, that smoke had me coughing. Very often I ponder when I would reach my coffin, cause I was lost in mischief, living life so lawless, trying to reach a peak so that I can be flawless. Big weeds, fake nails, materials cannot prevail. Tripped up by my enemies so that I could fail. Stumbled a few times, almost fell in the depths of hell. Suicidal behavior, though I never overdosed. But the way I was living, I felt I was in comatose. Fast asleep like a baby living ignorantly. No, I didn't see so viciously. I fed off some over again until I allowed the Father to refine me. And I fired so I could shine bright like a diamond. But first I had to die to my past life. Yes, I had to change cause I wasn't living right.
How can I make it when I know that I'm not living right? How can I make it? Let the Father take control of my life, cause I ain't wasting no more time. Wasting time. How can I make it? How can I make it? How can I make it when I know that I'm not living right? How can I make it? Let the Father take control of my life, cause I ain't wasting no more time. Wasting time.